It's coming.
You better be funny looking.
Coming in hot.
That's what I better.
Ashray's on gin tonight. Ashray wants to fuck like Viagra Bear.
Viagra Bear.
Viagra Bear.
It's gonna be a fun show. It's gonna be a fun show.
Yep. All right. Oh, looks like we're live. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on the RER Report, we're going to talk about texting, game, and manipulation. With us tonight, as always, we have our mixed message mystic, Text Me Not Teddy, obviously offline Oracle, and always available Ashtray. And this is the RER Report.
Boom.
Boom. Bam. All right. Moving on to the most important subject. The only reason we do the RER Report tonight is for the Dane County Humane Society weekly Pause for the Cause.
Pause for the cause.
That's right. Tonight this one goes out to Muhammad. He is a ceasefire released Muslim pig that Hamas gave out as a token of their goodwill to the Dane County Humane Society.
Yep. Joe Biden, he fucking stepped out of the play. He got Muhammad out. He's like, let go of that pig, man.
Muhammad's out, yeah, right?
Yep.
You know where he needs to go? Madison, Wisconsin.
I want him shipped there right now.
Yep, he'll fit right in. So, our main topic is basically kind of one where I had to piece together a bunch of random stuff because it's one of those things that everybody knows, but there's only so much research on it. But how, I guess, texting, game, and manipulation in the sense that texting itself, which has been around since, I guess, I first texted in probably 2001 is when I got my first cell phone going to college. How about you guys?
I imagine.
I'm old. I can't remember.
Yeah, around
I
that
think,
time, but probably a little
Early
bit sooner.
2000s.
Yeah, I think a little bit sooner.
And so texting goes like way back in the day where we were used to, and I still and you guys probably feel the same way, where you have, to me, it's kind of like you send out a text, unless there's like, hey, we got like actual immediate plans right now. So you can send a text out. I've always had that rule of like, 24 hours, right? Like, don't expect someone to respond right away. That's back in the old days, where also it's like sometimes you wouldn't know if the text would get through, or you would get like when someone's trying to text a lot of shit and it would come in chunks and no, he's not in the right order.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the out of order thing.
Yeah. And these older networks, and also like, and not that the whole thing is about the history of texting itself, but also T9. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that annoying shit. Yeah.
Oh my God, I dated this Australian girl who was like fire. Well, and her secret was like, oh yeah, in Australia, when you got your cell phone, texting was free. So all of the teenagers, they didn't call each other, they just texted. So they were T9 champions in Australia. Anyways.
Get away from me. Nobody, get away. Back.
These dogs love the RER Report.
Yeah, I wonder what her T9 skills are used for today.
Oh, today? Yeah, no. That's the thing, too, is like if I've actually had only a few times where I tried to do that T9 thing. It's like, oh, yeah, I got to look. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Right. It's kind of a lost skill that the aliens will find fascinating. But moving along to basically how texting in itself, it's been around now for 20 plus years. That it's become this new form of human communication. I always like to think of it as it's like sending a note like by carrier pigeon, except for it's instantaneous. And the term I always like was that it's asynchronous. So like when you send it, it's like you're sending a note out and you don't know how it's being received. You don't even know the position or like what's going on with the other person on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the few studies they've had is that basically they found that when it comes to like relationships and texting, like couples that have similar texting habits are statistically happier, which makes sense, right? If you've ever dated someone who is a big, heavy texter and you're not,
it's terrible. Well, I mean,
yes,
it's been many years, but yeah, like,
right. But you can relate because texting's been around long enough.
I, as a 40-year-old man, would not be able to tolerate that now.
But texting's been around long enough that you have old stories in your own past where it's like you dated someone who texted way too much.
Right. Yeah.
And just as much as where it's like if you are someone who likes to text a lot and you're texting someone who doesn't and you're not getting any reply back, right? You're just like, sending these messages out, and then you're like, well, they're not responding. And that's the whole point of it being asynchronous, and people forget is that like you're not getting any of their reaction, you're not getting any of their tone. And also you have to surrender yourself to not knowing they could be shitting and like watching cat videos and they don't want to talk to you. Or, usually they're at work. Whatever the reason, that's why I like the old way of texting was kind of like you just assumed give them a day to get back to you, right? Unless it's like, hey, I'm here at the club where we're going to meet. But now,
party in the club.
If you have the similar like texting style, you're happier. But basically, like texting can be used to bring people closer, can also be used to create distance. And like
to close, it could be used to close.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Worst thing in the world, a group text.
Oh God.
That you are like somebody just brings you into this.
God, I didn't even think about that, but yes, you're absolutely right. And all of a sudden, in your phone, go bing, bing,
yes,
bing,
it's
bing.
fucking
like,
horrible.
Shut off the messages for this entire group because I don't care.
My family
usually, siblings. It's like
my family. I like it. But sometimes I'll be at work. I'm like, look, go. Like if there's only two people talking,
it's like, why are you motherfuckers at work? Because
go text and talk to each other. You don't. There's 17 people in this fucking thing. We don't. You don't do conversating. We can conversate outside of fucking the main chat.
So texting, like in the research, like, what are the reasons why? Okay, I think the most thing everybody agrees upon, it's functional, especially when it's like, hey, 15 minutes late. You're making plans. I don't need to actually interrupt you with a call. Otherwise, there's people who use it to escape the present situation. People who do it because they're bored. People who like the worst though is like when these people who have relationships, which a lot of therapists now are actually having to deal with. And I, as a friend to people with drama, am like presented with a situation where it's like, oh, so blah blah blah, my partner, blah blah blah, and look at this text message. and it's
I have never had that happen to me.
No, me neither.
Oh my God! That's because you guys are married and happy, and you don't have.
No. When I was dating, you know how like the 30-minute call, whatever, you have a friend call you in 30 minutes, and you can lie and say it was there's an emergency, whatever.
In case it's a bad date.
Because it's a bad date, yeah. That was replaced by texting when I was dating. So
that makes sense.
Somebody's watch will go off, and they look at their watch and be like,
"Oh shit,
I got to respond. I got to respond to this text." Blah blah blah. And they look, oh, I got it. Yeah. And a couple times it's like I had to call. I get the call. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Or I pick it up like, yeah, I understand.
Oh, you had backup, Teddy? That's a good.
Well, no, I mean, it happened. Guys and girls did it. I mean, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
But it was more. It was.
Turns out to be a Muslim pig. Like, ooh.
I love pork and white.
Sorry, Muhammad. Let me make a joke there. But yeah, no, it's like that backup thing. But the thing though is like people taking texting as this way of like, or I'm sorry, bring the tangent back, was the whole like, here's my argument, and you're basically like trying to hear a friend out. And actually, I've read an article about therapists. Imagine being a therapist today. a couples therapist.
You probably
And
business is probably
come in.
good.
Oh, I'm sure it's good. But also, the couple comes in, and there's going to be like, look at this. Like, this is the argument we had via text. And like this article was talking about how they call it the text block, where it's just like the therapist then has to digest a textual argument where the therapist has no idea like where each of these people have been while this argument's going on via text. And then, of course, usually the person who's like, this is the text argument we had, like they're wanting the therapist to side with them. I can't imagine as a therapist to be like, what the fuck? If any, all my friends are telling like, why are you doing this over text message? Like when you get into a serious discussion, how easily we can blow these things out of proportion.
Well, yeah, you can't convey tone over the fucking over the text.
There's no tone. There's no intent.
Right. And unless the person is good at punctuation, which most people aren't, you're not gonna.
Right.
Yes.
And I mean, one thing about, so I don't really text, and we do a lot of chatting over Facebook Messenger, but pretty much any communication thing
texting over Facebook, you're talking about actual texting over Facebook Messenger? That's still texting. You're talking about actual FaceTime.
But any platform that I use, I need a robust library of GIFs in order. No, I'm serious. I'm fucking serious. You're right.
It does help.
If I don't have fucking GIFs, like a good library of GIFs, I'm fucking out, dude. This is like Stone Age shit if I don't have GIFs.
That's become like a part of how we now naturally, because like this whole like texting has evolved from the old days too. Another segment is what we call RER receipts.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think about, but yeah, has added a whole nother layer of dynamic to it's like,
where it shows, like on Facebook, where it shows the little eyeball thing that says that somebody has seen your.
Oh yeah, they've looked at your message.
Yeah.
Or I guess that's Teams.
Oh, and that's the thing is it but most modern apps now all have them, and they're both also like mostly on by default.
Mm-hmm.
Where I guess that you can go into privacy settings and turn these off.
I know you see my shit, bro. You just been avoiding me.
They show sent. You know, it says like, sent, read, and then like once read, it's like there's a timestamp.
No.
And studies have found that with the RER receipts, that it depends basically upon the relationship. Like all these texting fucking misunderstandings, it depends on the relationship. So between the sender and receiver, most likely if it's like a family member, a lover, someone close, you don't care that there's read receipts. Because usually what it is you also understand that, like my husband's not available at this time. So like if it shows he read it, but he's at work, I don't expect him to have to like get back to me right away. Unless it was some sort of emergency, I would then call him. But for other people, especially the younger folks who like grew up on this, it creates this whole like, oh my God, I got to respond right away. And so there's this whole extra like layer of social pressure. And I also found, like, back in my days when I used to, in texting game, sometimes with women, where I would purposely, I'm going to show that I read it, and I'm not going to respond.
Whoa!
Because it's going to fuck with them.
Way to assert dominance, you piece of shit.
No, because, I was a piece of shit. I was a piece of shit manipulator by a text message.
Oh, you still are.
Yeah. But anyways, besides me being a piece of shit, let's get into being piece of shit with manipulative text. So here are this was a list of 29 manipulative texts, and which makes sense. The basically kind of reasons like texting and generalizations. And that's like two is like, of course, it's such a gray zone. You could how manipulative you want to be. Two is refusing to answer questions, where it's like you text a question, and because it's via text, it's really easy to just ignore the question and just respond with something completely different. Because it's like you're not face to face. Like, hey, I'm asking you this. Like you can ignore a question over text way easier than in person. Another great one is you give someone an insult, or you say something shitty to them, and then as soon as they call you out on it, they're like, "Fuck you, that was mean." Like, you can't take a joke. Over text, basically saying like that was just a joke. Like, say something shitty and then completely deflate their argument that it was a shitty thing to say by saying.
Yeah, but to be fair, I do that in person too.
Yeah, I do it in person too.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like, so these.
I didn't want to be the first person to say it.
Well, that's also the point, though, is that these things in person, and that is why these manipulations and via text is always contingent and relative to the actual relationship between the sender and receiver.
I just feel like if somebody is this much of an asshole, just don't respond to them. Like, block
right.
them,
But when
dude.
people are, in these fucking, whatever dysfunctional relationships, like, people use these tactics. But yet us and our RER text message chat, like, this is par for the course, right? Like, we're giving each other shit all the time. But anyways, like, other things too is just basically being like changing the subject, or being erroneously long-winded. Someone who just like, I'm just going to go on paragraphs upon paragraphs of like they're hounding you about something. Like, that can be a form of manipulation. Or people who bring other people into the text party.
Horrible. I fucking hate that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Jesus Christ, don't do that.
Yeah, we're just like, what? Who are these people? And also, like, or when you're one of those person who's been brought into something, you're like, okay, why am I brought into this? And then you start listening and like, what the fuck is this for?
Yeah.
Another, it goes back to kind of saying you can't take a joke, is similar to what we're saying. Basically, as soon as someone pushes back on you via text, if you say, oh, you're too sensitive, that's a way to basically deflate their pushback, devalue it. Making false accusations. Oh, another great one is, oh, your text message had a tone to it.
Like
a text message.
Yeah.
You can't have tone. That's the thing, is like, people these text message threads as if we're in the room.
Well, okay. On that one, we do our little chat a lot, and we can hear each other saying the shit we type because we've been around each other for so long.
Absolutely.
We got to hear that.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's all relative.
Yeah. So I can hear like the tone in that way. Yeah.
Someone say this is someone who's like, oh, there's a tone in your thing. Say, especially, and a lot of this too is manipulative stuff. And I forget because I don't use dating apps. A lot of this stuff, not only the text manipulation, but the text game goes on in the dating app realm.
Oh yeah,
because that's where you're. Before you actually meet in person, you have to do the.
Dude, it was. Yeah, so when I was doing it, like trying to message people and stuff, trying to say hello and shit. It's like if you didn't, you don't know how, you just had to read your bio and come at her, but you don't know if you can,
It's a slog. It sounds.
Some
like.
girls wanted fucking, I'm gonna beat you up when we meet. Kind of, it's weird.
Right, and then also it could be, you also don't know, is this a fucking catfish? But yeah, so things like there's a tone where it's like, you could be having what you think is a flirty conversation with someone on your dating app, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, there's a tone to your text. And it's like, because dry humor doesn't work very well over text, Like,
oh, yeah.
There's they can all of a sudden say there's a tone to your text, but it's an asynchronous form of communication where there is no tone. So it's like, you then have to defend the tone that they are labeling what you texted. Bunch of bullshit.
It's a minefield.
It's a form of manipulation. Another one is refuses to talk on the phone when you're like, I'm going to call you. You have one of those scenarios where it's like, this is a serious thing, like we need to talk, and they won't act. They're like, no. I'm
the one that's like, no, I don't want to talk on the phone.
Really?
Don't fucking call me, dude. No.
Well, wait. When they're saying like this is a serious thing,
I don't have serious conversation.
Well, yeah, because you're married and old,
right? Like, but I mean, honestly, I would rather go with the fucking text messages. Just be cool.
Well, that's also when it's real pragmatic, in that kind of a scenario. But of course, this is all relative between the sender and receiver,
man.
Right.
Point being, like, what my experience of like someone refuses to answer the phone is where, and I'm sure we talked about this in the podcast. Oh my, no, you know what? This is probably before I joined the podcast. It was when the ex-girlfriend texted me on a Friday. Hey, I just got my results. I'm positive for gonorrhea. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this was, mind you, we hadn't had sex for 3 months. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm really sorry to hear that. I'll call you after work. And she's like, no, I don't want to talk. And I'm like, well, this is here. She's like, no, this is via text. This is all going. It got into this argument where she's like, I don't want to talk about this, but my boyfriend got tested and his doctor said it isn't him. And I'm like, okay. She's like, you just need to get tested for the safety of other women, which is what she texted me. And I'm like, oh, fuck no. Then it was like a fucking text battle because she refused to answer my calls. And it like just soured my whole Friday, like evening.
Well, if you hadn't fucked in 3 months and your dick isn't burning, you ain't got it. So
Sure.
why'd you have to keep up with the text battle?
Well, also,
I mean, that was your choice.
It was it was my choice also because it was a threat to my I somehow sullied her, and I need to get fucking tested for the. Now hear me out. It doesn't care. I was pissed that I felt sympathetic. And then she was just like, "You gotta get tested."
I would feel fucking sympathetic. I'd be like, "Fuck you, bitch."
I wouldn't care. I mean,
not after she said you should get tested for the safety of all women. That
I tell you that.
Shut up, Teddy.
For the safety of yourself and all women.
Just hear me out, because I was like, I will call you. I'm like, I'm sorry to hear that. I will call you when I get out of work, right? And she's like, "No, I don't want to talk about this." And she then like sent this text that sent me because I don't get to hear her tone. She doesn't get to hear my tone that I'm sorry, I'll call you after work. I then interpret it as in because she says you should get tested for the safety of all women. And mind you, like Teddy said, well, it's for 3 months. I didn't know anything about gonorrhea.
Well, Google, bitch.
Exactly. So I Googled it and I realized, but at the time when you're having that exchange, I wasn't like, I'm gonna stop work and Google gonorrhea. I'm printing banners. And I just got this text message from my ex.
I don't know, man.
Implying, hear me out. So the point being is I got all hot and bothered about it, right? This is the whole point, is how text message can create this drama that was unnecessary if I would have talked to her. And
it wouldn't have been any better.
What do you mean it wouldn't have been any better?
She wanted fucking drama, dude. If you're in a knife fight, you're in a knife fight. You just
Maybe
say,
she did
hey,
want drama.
You're a fucking dumb slut.
That's why she refused to answer.
Go fuck yourself.
That goes back to why it's a form of manipulation.
I didn't give you gonorrhea. Fuck off and die.
Point being is, yes, I went to my doctor and got fucking tested, and my doctor was like, I've never met a man who had gonorrhea and didn't know it. And basically my point was like, I'm just going to fucking rub it in her face that why the fuck are you going to imply? So I sent her this card saying, you know what? My doctor said you were right. You should call me. And I'm really sorry you went through this, and that my physician says your boyfriend's doctor should double check his results. Hardy face, Craig D, and then a copy of my results. Bam.
Just disengage.
Right. I mean, what? Why?
It
was an ex-girlfriend.
Oh, it was a principal thing at that
point.
Bye,
bitch.
I can't. I mean, I heard you out, bro. I can't. Yeah. I just can't.
That's all right. That's all right. Sometimes, someone's gonna claim that I'm fucking slinging gonorrhea around. I'm gonna fucking make a statement to prove I'm not.
Flinging gonorrhea around.
Just walk away. Yeah, whatever, bitch.
That's actually how you spread it.
Ashtray may be a hoe, but he's a respectable hoe.
Yeah, look at him. He's drinking fucking Bombay in the gym.
Bombay Sapphire.
Bombay Sapphire.
All right. Let's see here. Refusing to use punctuation. We'll wrap this up with the fucking manipulative text. Sending one-word responses.
Oh, I do that shit all the time.
Oh, I know. And that's
okay. Yep.
You're fucking toxic, dude.
I don't even use okay. I just put K.
Yeah. I do that with work people, but I've also I've noticed where I would do that with girls I was dating when I just want to basically show I don't give a shit about you. Let's see here. Using all caps unnecessarily. That's another one. Oh, threatening self-harm over text. I mean, I've never had that, but that's manipulation. Especially like if you're in a relationship with someone fucking completely toxic and they're always texting about they're gonna fucking kill themselves. Let's see here. Or people who text and demanding an immediate response. Like they'll text you asking something, and then they'll text following up, be like, "Respond to me." Yeah. You ever had that? Oof.
No, yeah. I don't deal with toxic chicks, so no, I have not had that.
Well, Teddy, you're lucky. Yeah, Oracle's had that.
Yeah, it was terrible, and Yeah,
because it's just like. Also, it's like, and it's the worst time because you're at work.
Just say I'm at work.
Oh, another one. Oh, yeah, no, they don't take that for an answer, Teddy. That's you're lucky. You haven't dated these kind of crazy people.
Well, my car responds to text too. I have it set up to where it can say if somebody sends me a text, it'll respond, "I'm driving," and just keep it moving.
Keep her moving.
I just blew gin in my eyeball.
It just says, "I'm driving."
I just imagine every text that Teddy responds with, "I'm driving." Teddy's always driving.
Ashtray, I'll be driving tomorrow morning on the way to work around fucking 9:50. You send me a text. It'll say I'm driving.
Do you have it like set for certain time frames?
No. It's just anytime my phone is Bluetooth to my car. I guess it's like a safety feature.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's Bluetooth to your car, well then
that's pretty.
Yeah,
but I mean, you could use that at any time, man. Just be like, "I'm driving."
I'm driving, and then it says a dash sent by car or whatever.
It's melted my contact with car. All right. Let's hear. Oh, also, the last of those are people who are also taking screenshots. People who take screenshots of your text conversation, like similar to like going to the therapist, like here's text or to friends, like read this. You believe the argument we had? And it's like I don't want to read your argument. Like tell me your side of it, but I'm not gonna fucking sit here and read and all of a sudden feel like I was there. People will take screenshots of their text arguments and then send them out to their friends or family or your in-laws.
Yeah, that's
fucking sly motherfucking.
That's pretty bad.
People do
in-laws.
Oh yeah,
wow.
That's pretty fucking bad.
Motherfuckers will be like, your fucking son ain't fucking paying my rent.
I haven't talked to my in-laws in probably 3 years.
Yeah, right. And you're all old enough that they probably don't know how to text. Yeah. Which is good for y'all. Because you have a limited understanding of each other.
The fuck is this?
Moving on.
It's what comes from my car when somebody texts me and I'm driving.
Or I'll try to make it real brief here on so that was like texting manipulation, which is more what I was thinking about because it's something people do all the time, and it's become kind of a cultural norm that we're all meandering through. Texting game, which is also akin to manipulation, like which I used to do while dating. This is a video here that was in the outline. Todd V dating. So it's like, of course, the pickup artist kind of stuff is still continuing. And anyways, he's got what he calls basically breaks down when you're texting, and which makes more sense, like for people who, because there's so many people who only now, which is funny, 10 years ago, people were like kind of like embarrassed to admit that they met on Tinder. Like, we've been dating for a year, but we met on Tinder. Nowadays, it's like, we met on Hinge, we met on Bumble, Tinder, whatever. It's become so much of quickly a cultural norm that I honestly feel like some people don't know how to interact in public or flirt because they kind of think, you only date videos.
Me and my wife, we met on OkCupid.
Yeah.
And going on dates with people from I was on a bunch of different sites and going on dates with people. They weren't really socially awkward. They were just weird people.
And OkCupid actually is like the last actual dating service site where I had a real in life or like in the real flesh date. Because I tried Tinder early on and just like
everybody on Tinder just wanted to fuck. I mean, they didn't want to just hang out. They just wanted to fuck. Everybody wanted to fuck. Well,
even the thing is weird now. It's like that was what Tinder was then, and now there's like, oh yeah, people are using
Same thing.
Tinder just to find friends.
This is terrible,
it's the same-
dude. I'm
it's the same
reading
thing.
these
Oh.
comments for this video.
Oh yeah, I know. It's total like incel, like
All right,
pickup artist.
let's
Like, oh,
read some
this
of this
guy's
here.
on point. So, anyways, he's got this 4 types of basically it's like when you're texting, and granted, a lot of this is
Todd is on the ball here.
yeah,
All
Todd is
caps.
So this is the kind of texting that you're doing on a dating app. You know, it's still a similar form of communication, but the 4 types he breaks it down to is silence, shit test, logical and platonic, and positive. So if you're getting silence, according to him, he's like, she's just not bought into you yet, and you need to do more work to show your value.
She's talking to 15 people.
Exactly.
Just like you, I'd be talking like 12, 10, 12
That's right.
chicks.
If any you incels out there listening to the Red Eye Report, remember there's 3 men to every 1 woman on a dating site on average now. Like those statistics have been solid for probably the last like 5-10 years.
Yeah, and 3 out of those 4 women are fucking fat guys. Trying to trick you.
That's pretty much how it is out at if you go out to like a bar or something too,
Sure,
right?
you're right, ratio wise. But so silence is like, yo, you got to prove your worth, and basically, what you need to do is like, he calls it ping value into the void, which is sharing like funny things that are without. I mean, he's got some points to it in the sense there's like saying basically you got to share things that aren't any sort of a question. Share something funny and think of it like, oh, it's a funny Facebook update post. Share something funny that doesn't actually require her to respond back.
Like what? Like a fucking cat video or what?
I mean, he even says in this video, he's like, oh yeah, for instance, I field tested. I was sharing cute cat pictures, and I got great responses. But what I realized is they were responding to the cute cat and not to me. Because the cute cat actually didn't show any of my value.
Oh my God! What the fuck?
Oh yeah, this guy actually had like a successful conversation with a chick.
Well, he's got a lot of subscribers.
Ever?
He's probably he can pay for a good conversation with chicks. Nonetheless, like he's right in the sense that like there is a certain tactic, and I also this was a form of manipulation I used to use in texting.
You're an asshole. I didn't. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I am an asshole.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's recovering, but yeah, you would send a message that actually didn't require them to like give a real answer or whatever. Just something completely quirky, funny.
Okay, now
blue.
Oh, okay, you go first. Then.
Well, okay, so how many relationships that are happen because of these tactics do you think are actually fucking have any longevity and are successful?
Well, and okay, so these things now, this text game and the way he's also framing it is, remember, it's kind of relative and contingent to these are girls you're matching with on the dating apps.
Okay.
And because to actually get to real life, so his whole point is you've got 4 groups of silence, shit test, logical and platonic, and positive. It's a spectrum. Silence is like you're doing bad. You need to work to get her attention. And there's a gradient between them. Between silence and shit test, and then logical and platonic and positive. Once you get on that side of logical, platonic to positive reinforcing text from these girls, that's when you need to close, and like make plans to meet in the real world. Because it's like, you just like, if you want to have sex, it's best to have it in the real world.
Y'all ever watch Bob's Burgers? There's a guy on there who sells this video. It's called the something of persuasion or whatever. And it sounds, I gotta find this video of this guy. It kind of sounds like this shit.
Oh, I'm sure it is, because
it's like part of the video.
That's
like,
the thing too, is like
her, like literally corner her.
Because the game has been around so long, I kind of assume that it's like all the girls and most women, I say, know these tricks. But also you forget about the fact that like there are still girls who are just getting into their 20s who are navigating the back and forth with trying to date. And it happens so much over text message. So there's a silence, there's a shit test. And watching the video, I was like,
Yeah,
I don't
what's a shit
really
test?
understand what the fucking shit test was. Yeah, he didn't really explain. Basically, the point with the shit test was the shit test kind of shows that she likes you enough on some level to at least she's at least showing enough interest to text you something, right? Because this is how they base in the value. Oh, she likes you enough to say something. But basically, a shit test. His tactics. He says, shit test. You just have to pass it. Don't make any plans. So the biggest thing is, because she's texting me something. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, when do you want to go out? Blah blah blah. Don't make plans. You just pass her shit test. And so I had to actually Google, like, what is a shit test, like pickup artist thing, because he didn't really say. And I found this site here. It's a link there. Every shit test, fucking 83 of them. And some of these are so bad. But it's just like, okay, the shit test would basically be, this is a text you get from a woman. We're not having sex tonight. Some of your responses would be like, oh, I know. You have to meet my parents first. Or, well, I didn't say anything about that, but okay. Or I know I'm on my period.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
I don't think people are going to actually have sex anymore. Like,
why'd you bring up
or
sex?
have any relationships anymore?
No, that's what I'm like. I told you guys earlier in the chat. Like, we're all fucked.
Yeah.
Have as many kids as you can because you're the only hope we have.
There is like 0% chance that anything positive is going to come out of this shit.
How many followers does this guy have?
What's that?
How many followers does he have?
He has 265,000 subscribers. This video I shared has 100.1 million views.
It's
100.1 million views.
Or no, 1.1 million views.
Still enough.
265,000 subscribers. Anyways, actually, just because I was Googling like texting game, just broad terms, because it was kind of there wasn't like a solid article on this, but a lot of his shit came up first, and then I just found this thing where he broke
an ad on here for MGAI, the AI wingman for online dating. I didn't even think about that.
Oh my God, you actually just made a joke about that having, because I was like, I don't text much anymore because I don't have the time. We're like, you should get an AI bot to do it. Anyway, so you got the shit test where it's like, oh yeah, are you a virgin? Oh yeah, no, I prefer coconut oil. He's like,
what?
Anyways, this is like that list he's got here.
Dude, this is literally the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I fucking wish this guy was in front of me. I'd beat the fucking piss out of him.
No.
Fucking wasting my fucking time.
Mystic is he's fucking hit the threshold.
Hold on now, Mystic. I'm defending.
Dude, I'm physically mad. I'm pissed off
this Todd
that
V
I've
guy.
sat through this. And it makes no fucking sense.
It makes no sense, no. But this Todd V guy did not write this list of shit passes. But it's a common term that this whole universe, this whole pickup artist universe, and texting game theory uses to basically like.
Yeah, but I think this system is used by. So I think he's preying on socially awkward people.
Of course he is. Like that's how he's getting all his views.
This is exactly
people who
the same
don't know
shit as that twin flame stuff.
Yeah,
it's the same shit too as the actual the book, the game, like the pickup artistry. It's the same shit. It's just it's for the newer modern. I mean, texting was around during the game, but it was like back in the T9 era.
For the modern retard.
Yeah, for the modern dating retard.
Yeah,
and this guy,
dude, fuck.
Imagine if you were this Todd V guy. I hope he's married, because how do you actually go out and we meet someone and they figure out who you are? Like, how do you explain that?
No fucking way that guy's
yeah.
No.
I do all these dating coaching things. Or maybe that's what he does. He's like, yeah, I'm a dating coach, blah, blah, blah. And he uses that, and he's just like fucking banging them left and right.
This is not the dating coaching.
Nonetheless, though, too, it's like you put enough notches in your belt, you realize you're not going to learn anything new.
You're right, though, man. What is the world? Like, it makes me sound so old, but what the fuck?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, make as many babies as you can, boys, because it's so convoluted. The dating world right now.
Yeah, I get that, but I think our kids will be fine. My son's more social than everything else. It's also
Your kids will be
they're-
fine. I'm talking about we're just not going to have any kids because they're too busy texting each other out.
I mean, no, they said the same thing about fucking newspapers and shit when it came out. The technology,
Yeah, you're right.
Just the technology, it's not, and the world will go on.
I'm a curmudgeon. All right. Well, that's texting game and manipulation. We've all done it. We've all been there, except for these guys who are old fuddy-duddies. Moving along to what's sexy? Oracle's N64 that's not a gigantic tube television emulator.
Yeah. So I've been getting into some emulation lately. And
on your Switch?
On my cell phone, actually. So on Android, you can get the...
You just play it on the screen?
No, I've got a backbone. So I've got...
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, what was that thing called again? Yeah, I remember.
The backbone?
The actual backbone.
Yeah. So it's this deal here.
Astra, you dumb shit. Pay attention.
Dumb fuck. Okay. So
I'm sorry, your video game stuff is all the same dumb, boring ass shit every week.
Yeah. So this is the backbone on a Pixel 7. But anyway, on Android, you can get the M64 Plus FC emulator, which is
they have some great emulators on the Android phones.
Yeah. I put the link for the backbone controller. It's excellent. It works perfectly with this. I've also included a link with all of the all the systems are on here for ROMs and shit. Just click on N64 and you got every game that's ever been created. It's fucking great. It's really good. One thing that I've noticed about N64 games, for one thing, so far ahead of their time. These games, like the biggest games, like fucking Zelda and shit, are 25 megabytes.
Yeah.
Fucking, like a GameCube game is like a gig and a half. Like 25 megabytes is nothing.
Zelda on N64 was 25 megabytes.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time, it's like 25
it's
megabytes.
It's insane. Yeah. Like, how the fuck are you guys fitting this shit in this? Incredible. Totally stand up, really cool, having a lot of fun playing these. Yeah. So check it out. It's cool.
Word. All right, moving along to look at all these links. Mystic, Twin Flames Universe.
I think he's so angry he left though.
This fucking documentary, it's a 3-part documentary on Netflix. There's one on Amazon too, but I'm not going to watch 2 of them about the same thing. It was really well done because it's just like, dude, it made me mad, but at the same time I was just kind of laughing at these people because
it's so sad.
My God, you are fucking just sad, man. What is wrong with you?
Dude, it made me want to start a cult.
When I had therapy, I realized how easy that is.
We can start a cult, get all the fine bitches, have all the dudes cut the dicks off, we get the fuck all the chicks. I mean, we can do it.
It's crazy, man. That like they just make shit up.
Yeah, the problem is you have to not laugh at
people
yourself.
Just believe that it's fucking real. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and the funniest about I was thinking about L. Ron Hubbard, or not L. Ron Hubbard. The dude who started Scientology. Is that L. Ron Hubbard?
Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah.
Like he literally admitted that it was just bullshit, and
he was a science fiction writer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people still believe that it's true.
Right. It is that. It's like the George Costanza thing. Like, it's not a lie if you truly believe it. And it's like they make up this thing, and it's like you could lead a cult if you basically create a good enough narrative of understanding, and you reinforce it with belief.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just that con man confidence. It's the confidence to make people believe that you believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cast doubt upon anyone who questions it.
And he threw it back in their faces too. Like he's like, yeah, my wife's wearing Chanel today.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm like, you're like she's dripping Chanel.
Many people get to learn on a Porsche, $100,000 Porsche. I do. Yeah, because all the hard work and fucking money.
How long did this
only ass
run?
It's still going on.
Still going.
Still going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We can go to their website right now and fucking and find our twin flames.
Oh, so they haven't been like There's basically no one's held them to account,
they
I
haven't
guess.
No.
done.
Because they didn't do anything criminal. They
these-
just took people's money.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah, they sell these
they sell classes. You
Yeah.
buy these leadership
Yeah.
classes.
yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of
wow.
like a
Ooh.
Scientology.
Like
it's the
Tony
same way.
Robbins.
Illegal. Exactly. They're not really doing anything illegal.
Like Tony Robbins is not like he's full of a lot of bullshit, but he also like he conveys that era of confidence that people are striving for.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's what I don't get about this, though. And that's what made it so fucking great, is that dude does not fucking have an air of confidence about him.
No.
So I don't know how these people are latched onto it. You know what I'm saying? Just
Unless, does he have
down.
some sort of
Idiot.
weird, sincere, insecure kind of thing where people like relate to him? And then maybe.
Well, the way I think the way this works is he if you go through these classes, he guarantees that you're gonna find your love, your twin flame. And a lot of these people are, which are women, are looking like I mean they're old
Yeah.
who were just fucking. We're just,
He's
oh my
praying.
God, this is a guarantee that I'm going to find my twin flame in love. I'm down.
I guess I don't understand the level of delusion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that you really think you're gonna find. Come on, man.
Well, I know, right? That's the thing too. Is like when you got nothing to lose, you're just like, oh. The loneliness, man. Loneliness will make people do stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's like
will.
this shows how important social real interaction is. All right, speaking of the antithesis of loneliness, moving on to me, Ashtray, Dirty Dancing Revenge, like Patrick motherfucking Swayze. I went out to this. My plans were to go to this surf rock show to come back in, and so I had this like Hawaiian shirt on. And my fucking tit shirt with the like bonita booty chick on it, and kind of looked like I just came out of a Jimmy Buffett show. From that surf rock show, I went next door to the Cardinal. What's that?
Don't let the gin win. You're stronger than that.
You're
okay?
right. That's why I've been
Stronger
sipping
than that.
very carefully. It's
Don't let
only
the
my
gin win.
second.
That is not your second.
Don't question my metrics. So I go next door to the Cardinal, and it's they're like fetish night, kind of like leather and lace, right? And I'm dressed like motherfucking parrot head, like Hawaiian shirt, full colors, and I'm kind of like, this is perfect. Like I don't give a fuck. Ashley just wants to come in and dance, and hit the dance floor. And who do I run into? Who comes up and says hi? Is old flame number one from that story I shared on the podcast about getting cock blocked at the show, the Sylvie. Where he's like, oh, he's great. He's safe. You should fuck with him. And so while we're on the dance floor, I'm like, listen, I'm like, do you have any other boyfriends here tonight? And she's like, no. I'm like, good, because I'm going to give you all my attention. If you don't want it otherwise, let me know. And we had like
that mad game, homie.
What's that?
That's right. You spit that mad game.
Well, yeah, it was just like, listen, I'm going to lay this on you. And like, if you got someone here, let me know. But like, I'm going to lay it on you because I don't give a shit about anyone else here. I just showed up and you happen to be here. I'm going to take my revenge. So we had like this dirty dancing session, and she's one of the few chicks that like I can actually flow with me, and to where it's like so scandalous that like someone should have been recording it. And this guy who I know as an acquaintance, like a friend of a friend, right? Like he's like really friendly and gregarious, but he's kind of like, imagine Ashtray if he was trying to be like way more bisexual. Like, oh, I got a bow in my hair.
Is that possible?
I mean, really?
That was an alley-oop, and I was just waiting for Mystic to fucking come in and dunk that.
Yeah, dunk it. Is that possible? Exactly.
Dude, you've had your dick in another man's mouth.
Exactly, I have. And this guy
more bisexual.
So
I hope this guy
bisexual.
This guy probably has too. Only from I don't know him all that well, right? Friend of a friend. But also in the scenarios where I've like hung out with him, like we're at a dance club or whatever, and I can see it's kind of like you're using that kind of like, oh hey, like this kind of I get the impression you're like using your bi ploy to actually like seize on people. And so this guy, I didn't even realize he was there, right? So I'm having like full on direct, like one-on-one, like dirty dancing with this old flame of mine. You know, like the only kind of dancing you can have with someone that you've like fucking been in. Like, and so all of a sudden he's like, oh hey.
Me and Teddy dance like that all the time.
And this guy comes up, he's like, oh hey, how's it going? I'm like, oh hey, blah. And he's like, you know, blah blah blah. You know, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, we just met. I'm just like jokingly, and whatever. Like we go back to because I'm like kind of like fuck off, you know, like yeah, I know you and you know me, and like you're making the connection that we know each other, but we know each other, so fuck off. So go back to dancing, and later on the night after we wrap up, and it's kind of like we get to that point where it's just like, all right, we got to dip out early, and we're gonna go back to your place, because she had to work in the morning, and so like of course it's like as soon as like I dip out, like sex is on the table. All of a sudden, a bunch of other people I know start coming in, whatever, and it like almost derailed that. But that guy who was like more bisexual than Ashtray, he's like, really, you just met so and so? And I'm like, no, motherfucker. I'm like, you see what we're doing out there? Like, you can't just fucking dance with someone like that. You just met him. Like, we were fucking basically having love on the dance floor. And anyways, and then Ashtray got his sexy revenge and went back to her place and fucked her brains out. Sorry, we're running over time. All right, moving on to Teddy, who didn't have anything in his What's Sexy.
No, it's a surprise for Oracle. Pay attention to your fucking show. So I did something today, and Oracle's gonna hate it. I booked a cruise.
Oh, yep. See, here we go. Oh, I never go on cruises.
One of these days, I'm gonna go on cruise with Teddy.
You can go on this one. So I was trying to plan a trip I wanted my whole family to go on something. So we chose a cruise because it's a floating resort and with stops and things. So so far only my sister and her family, one of my sisters and her family, and my younger brother and whatever girlfriend he chooses to bring at the time is coming. We're waiting on my brother, my other brother. One of my sisters said she's not going because she doesn't like. She's like out of that. Yeah, she's not okay with cruises. So, but yeah, booked a cruise.
Boom. I gotta go on a fucking cruise.
When is that cruise?
June 6th.
June 6th.
We will be going to Haiti. It's called
Haiti.
Fucking Haiti.
Yeah, you're probably going to what zone the cruise owns of Haiti.
Right, exactly. So what I've heard about this part of Haiti is that they got it's like a private part that Royal Caribbean has. It's got like a wall
with
and shit.
Armed guards.
Yeah, exactly. Wall. They got towers with armed guards, so motherfuckers can't get near it.
Didn't the Haitian president get assassinated like last year?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, now is the other side of Haiti the Dominican Republic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't the Dominican Republic even more accessible than Haiti?
It's all bad, but we're not leaving.
It's all bad, but the cruise will take care of us.
I'm black and I won't go outside the
How much are the tickets and how long, if you don't mind me asking?
Say what?
How much are the tickets and for what period of time? Length?
This cruise is costing me $1,400 for me, my wife, and my son to have a balcony room.
3 tickets.
That's it.
And for how many days?
How long?
It's a 4-night cruise. The thing is, they have a sale going right now.
That's actually so fucking
right. Exactly.
Argue with that price.
The last cruise we took last year cost me $3,300.
Okay, so, that's a good deal.
So I mean, they've got a sale going on right now. Kids are cruising
if you're
free.
Into that sort of thing.
Yeah, kids are cruising free, and I think the sale. Actually, I think the sale ended today. But
I think Ashtray could get drunk enough and on the right enough drugs to actually appreciate the absurdity of a cruise.
Well, it was the thing.
Everybody tells me you're gonna hate it. It's just crazy. It's terrible.
It's a floating resort. There's so much shit to do.
Well, there's also a lot of like those resort type people. Like this is the worst type people. But
the last cruise I did not
around the worst type people.
Yeah, the last cruise I did not buy the drink package. This cruise I will buy the drink package.
Oh, how much did it cost you for not buying the drink package, or just sneak drink?
It cost me about $600 more.
Yeah. How much does the drink package cost?
The drink package would have cost me about $800.
But you're probably holding back a little bit.
You would have definitely drank more if you had the drink package, basically.
No, actually, I would. The thing was, I thought I was gonna drink less because I didn't have the drink package. But hanging out with my son, movies. They show 2 movies a night every night, and so my son wanted to like hang out in the hot tubs and watch the movies and be social. So as I'm out there with him, I'm sitting there playing my Switch like, give me another one. Hey, give me another one. I mean, there's nothing else for me to do.
Yeah.
I'm in the hot tub like with my son. Bring me another one.
Well, yeah, I guess it's kind of like.
Yeah, it'd be good to have the drink. So when you're doing that though, do you have to like give them your credit card, or is it all like on a tab?
No. You have you have to put a credit card on file. No, you have a key card for your room, and you have a credit card on file, and everybody and whatever credit card is on file, everybody in that room gets to use that card.
Sure, but when you order a drink from the waitress, what do you give them?
You give them your room key.
Okay.
Your room key is your credit card. It's your ID card. It's all in it.
And that's the same as if you're on the drink package or whatever too.
Well, yeah. If you're
on the drink package, you don't have to give them one, then, do you?
No.
You have to actually.
You do have to give it to them. And they'll bring you, it just doesn't cost you anything.
You said it was $800 for the drink package, but you spent $600 in drinks. Well, then
no. I spent $600 more than $800 for the drink package.
Oh, fuck.
More than $800. Oh, okay.
Dude, that's the same amount as what you just paid for your family to go on this cruise.
Yeah,
I know. It was me and my wife.
God.
But it's not just me drinking. It's me and my wife.
Okay.
And also my son was getting virgin daiquiris and stuff, and so
Teddy,
so I thought that fucking that not getting a drink package would save me money. It did not.
Yeah.
For a 4-day cruise, just get the drink package.
Yeah, get the drink package.
Get the expensive shit. Go for it.
Word.
I'm doing
All right,
it.
moving along to our fuck what you think. Oracle, how long?
Just drop my car off at the fucking place to fix it because I hit that deer. I have no idea how long this is gonna take. I hope it doesn't take too long.
They didn't give you any update.
Nope.
And you called them.
No, I haven't called them yet.
Oh, you dumb motherfucker.
I figured they gotta assess, man. They gotta get the
text message miscommunication.
They gotta fucking get the part. You know, they gotta look it up. They gotta figure out how long it's gonna take.
That's why you ask them.
But I guess I'm worried about the bad news. Like when I call them, they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be 2 months." Or some shit.
So wait, when you dropped it off, you didn't choose to ask then?
They didn't fucking know. It was.
What do you mean they didn't know?
It's not like the mechanic's gonna just look out the window and be like, "Oh yeah, we'll get that done in a fucking week."
Wait.
No, it's just some chick at the desk.
There was no understanding of what's going on.
No, she's just like, "Okay, yep, this is your day to drop it off. Thanks for the keys." Great.
And so you dropped off, and how long has it been since you've had an update?
5 days.
5 days?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, as someone who is like a mechanic that I guess I feel is reliable and is straightforward with me, it's like, kind of drop it off, and it's like within like the initial 24 hours, or if like they can't get to it that day, it's like they will also tell me like, hey, like we looked at it, but we couldn't really figure it out yet. Are you cool with us leaving for another day? Then it's like within 2 days, you should at least have the synopsis, the diagnosis of like, oh, here's your problem.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, get on their ass, call them.
Yeah, I should call them tomorrow.
Yeah. 5 days you left the car there.
I guess I'm worried about.
You're waiting for a text message, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm waiting for bad news.
Passive bastard. I mean, I understand that too. Where it's like when you think it's like, oh, you're dreading how much it's gonna cost. You kind of don't want to know.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you're also bitching about that. Like, how long is it gonna take to know?
Supposedly, the insurance is gonna pick it up.
Sure, but you're not the squeaky wheel right now.
Yeah.
And if you haven't called to get an update, like you're on the back burner for everyone else, like me, who's like, okay, well, what's the word? How much it's gonna cost?
Right.
Okay, here's my credit card. So harass them. No, you don't have to harass them, but you're at this point, they're actually going to be like, oh my God, he called. Yeah. And if you're polite, they're probably like, okay, we got to move this guy up. He was so patient.
Right.
All right, moving along, Mystic. Who the fuck cares? Nobody.
Mystic is not in the call anymore.
What?
I don't know if he rage quit or if it stopped or what.
Probably getting sick of Ashtray shit. All right, moving along to Teddy. Narrators who don't know what they're reading.
Okay, so I listen to a lot of books on Audible, and I've got into a kind of book. It's called it's classified as lit RPG. It's pretty much have you ever seen SAO, Sword Art Online?
No,
where it's an anime where these people get stuck in a video game. So it's kind of like that. All these stories have to do with people getting to a fantasy land that where it's run kind of like a video game, to where they have a HUD and they have
every nerd's dream.
Yeah, every nerd's dream.
Finally a world that understands me.
So this particular series I'm reading, I was waiting for my main book to come out, the 10th book in this one series I like to come out. It came out a couple days ago. So I go to the free category because they have a lot of free books on Audible, and I choose lit RPG, and I found this one thing. They had the first 3 books are free, and I listened to the first book. The narrator was okay, but the thing was, it's RPG. So when you're reading the character stat sheet, like CON, if you play RPGs, what CON is Constitution, like STR is Strength, like ATKP is attack power things.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of him saying that, he would just say ATKP 41, STR 16, like things like that. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And what the most annoying thing was when he gets to the world and finds out he has the world explains to him that he has a heads-up display, which is a HUD. The whole time he calls it something popped up on my HUD. And I'm like, dude, just say HUD. Just say fucking HUD.
Right.
I mean, I get that you don't know what the other, like DEX is dexterity.
Yeah, nobody says HUD.
Right. I'm like, you're reading a book for people who play RPGs. And
so obviously nobody proof listened to this book.
So the second book he got it right. He stopped doing that shit.
Oh really?
Yeah. The second book he started saying HUD, started saying strength, attack power, magic attack power, all kinds of things. So like I guess people are like, look, motherfucker, you're gonna read an RPG book.
Yeah, right.
Get with the shit. So but it was weird to like I'm like, God damn, just say HUD. I mean, just say HUD. I mean, why are you saying HUD? It was very annoying.
People who don't know the nomenclature.
So yeah, right. That was my problem. Like, why are you reading an RPG book when it's a fucking?
Why? Because there's someone like Mystic who's like, I need to make some money. I don't know anything about this, but they're gonna pay me for my sexy voice.
Sexy voice.
It's probably been years since he's done. What was that company he worked for? Remember that he would read articles and shit.
Yeah, lots of. I don't know, a few of them.
Or there was, it was like a website or something where like he kind of was like a freelancer.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but yeah.
If he was on the call, he could tell us.
Right.
I hope he's listening right now. We should all tell him
He's
how
like,
much
fuck
we
all you guys.
Fucking hate him. In his sexy voice, we're all jealous.
NPR.
NPR. Okay, moving along to Ashtray. And my fuck what you think is Mystic leaving us. He has a shit. He just texted now. He had a shit. Well, Mystic,
shit.
fuck you.
Dude, you're a better man than I am, because I would have taken my headset to the fucking bathroom and just muted myself.
Oh yeah, right.
Should have just shit.
I would then chime in.
I got one right
chamber pot,
I really
dude.
had to say something.
Bathroom.
Anyways, yeah. So fuck Mystic for going to take a shit. If he would only have more regular bowel movements, we could have the Red Eye Report. This is why we're losing sponsorship. Thanks God for the.
What the fuck? Shut up.
I know, right? We're the coolest podcast because nobody listens to us. Anyways, in all seriousness,
people do listen to us.
Go fuck yourself, Mystic shit. That's our show. We're gonna be here every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central. So make sure join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/redeyereport. You can also fuck off on the X thing or be like Elon Musk and go fuck yourself. I am the Ashtray.
I'm Oracle.
I am Teddy, and I'm going on a cruise, bitch.
Right.
And I'm Mystic shit.
And Mystic can fuck off.
Kill me.
hope he's listening to us on the throne. Oh.
And this is the RER Report.
Yeah, that was about an hour.